So, how to build a $1 million cleaning business that profits $200,000 without having to clean, sell, or hire. How many of you think that sounds difficult? You are correct. It is very hard. Anyone know what it takes? Who wants to know what it takes? Come on. Who really wants to know? You want to know what it takes? It takes being told no 1,000,000 times. It takes being disappointed 1,000,000 times. It takes making 1,000,000 mistakes. You want to know how I know that? I started my first business on December 16th, 2013. It was over a decade ago. It was a personal training gym. I knew I was going to be a millionaire. And I got introduced to stage number 1, business ownership, uninformed optimism. And after 3 years, I was not a millionaire. In fact, I made $135,000 in 3 years. Yeah. I had a big realization. This was going to be way harder than I expected. And so then I discovered stage number 2, informed pessimism. And so I made $135,000 in revenue in 3 years. And my net profit, $1,620 in 3 years. I was profiting $10 per week. So much for becoming a millionaire. Thought to myself. And then I got to feel the bottom of stage number 3 of the Valley of Despair. And so some of you guys might know this feeling. Some of you guys might be here right now. Maybe the reason you're on this call is because you're trying to figure out how to get out of here. And so if you were like me, felt trapped. I didn't have a plan B. Not my mom, not my dad. I didn't have a rich uncle. Like, no one was coming to save me. There was only one person who kept me from quitting. And that was Katie. She was the one who watched me struggle for years. She was my first follower. She believed in me before anybody else did, even myself. And she knew what I didn't. Because you guys want to know what I knew? I knew that I knew nothing about business. And I wanted nothing more than to quit. But the benefit of hitting rock bottom is that you got to go somewhere, you got to go up. And so I was fortunate enough to make it to stage number 4, which was informed optimism, because I had no choice. I had to believe. And so I began searching for answers, believe that there had to be a way. And so one day, while I was working real hard, how many of you guys like work real hard scrolling on Facebook? That's what I was doing. And a Facebook ad stopped me. And I'll never forget it. It's like, I'll fill your gym in 30 days. For free. And I was so desperate that I believed it. And so I put in my information, just hoping, just hoping. You guys want to know what I found? I actually found a successful gym owner. I found somebody who actually filled 6 of his own gyms up, and he actually had helped other gym owners fill their gyms as well. And I optimistically hopped on a sales call with him. And he explained how his business system worked. And it made sense. I was like, oh my gosh, I get it. That totally makes sense. I see. I see now. And then he asked me to give him all my money. In exchange, he would give me access to his business system. And my response, what if it doesn't work? And his response, very quickly, I'll fly out there and I will do it for you. And he said it with such conviction that I couldn't do anything else but believe him. And so I gave that stranger from Facebook all my money, all my time, and all my commitment. And in exchange, he gave me his business system. And probably most importantly, he personally helped me implement the business system. And so from April 1st, 2016 to April 1st, 2017, leading up to this decision, the business had grossed $73,000 and it netted $709. And then 1 year after implementing this business system, from April 1st, 2017 to April 1st, 2018, the business grew to $342,000 and it netted $71,000. It was life-changing. Still, to this day, one of the most life-changing moments. But it wasn't the money that was life-changing. It was that access to a business that actually freaking worked. So rewarding. Additionally, what I didn't even realize I got out of it was I'd acquired skills to actually run the business system. And lastly, the relationship. The relationship that I got on that day is the reason why I'm talking to you guys today. And so anyone curious on who that successful gym owner was? Yeah, it was a young Alex Hormozi. And so with a business system, with skills to be able to run that business system and relationship with somebody who was very successful, I finally got to get a taste of stage number 5, success. And with that success, I realized that it was another relationship that I really needed to have a long tail in success. And so I leveraged the little bit of success I had, and I convinced Katie to quit her job. To go all in on this business with me. And from 2017 to 2019, we were focused on one thing, and that was creating financial freedom. One of the pivotal moments in our relationship is when we got married. We made a decision not to throw a big fancy wedding, not to spend thousands of dollars and honestly tons of energy, time, and attention on a wedding. Instead, we decided to focus on the thing that was going to get us freedom to have the marriage and the family that we really wanted. And so we got married in our living room. Just me and Katie. And Kobe. And the ordainer and his wife as a witness. And every single week from 2017 to 2019, we tracked every single expense. We classified them as assets or liabilities. Assets took money out of our pocket. Liabilities put money back in our pocket. Or excuse me, assets put money in our pocket, and liabilities took money out of our pocket. And if we had an expense that was a liability, we got rid of it. We only invested in assets, things that would put more money in our pockets. We just had one focus, was to stack cash. And we began using that cash that we stacked for those 2 years to start buying real estate in 2019. And so we bought our very first investment property in May of 2019, 1109 Cardinal Drive. We put 25% down on this property, and we officially became landlords for the first time. And then in August 2019, we bought our second investment property. It was 13 Sky Drive. We put down 20% down on this property. And then on the last day of 2019, we bought our third property that year. This was actually a 2-unit. So we actually lived in 1 unit, and then we started short-term rentaling the second unit. And so we actually only have 2 kids, as you can see. And so we actually had 4 bedrooms in this house. And one of the bedrooms started out as a little home gym / office. And we spent a little bit more money on a remodel. And we remodeled that 4th bedroom into a studio, and we turned it into a short-term rental. And we now had 2 short-term rentals, which created a new problem. Cleaning. And so we began hiring cleaning companies. And so, you know what we got? We got inconsistent communication. We got no-showed a couple times. And we had little to no accountability from any of these cleaning companies. And so we ended up cleaning it ourselves. And so I asked Katie a question. I said, Katie, what do you think about starting a cleaning business? And she agreed. And so on October 19th, 2020, Bozeman 5-Star Cleaning was born. And so from October 19th, 2020 to October 19th, 2021, this little cleaning business, it grew to $138,000 and netted $44,000 in its very first year. I was like, dang, that's actually pretty good. Considering that we still owned a gym, we were still buying real estate, we were managing our long-term rentals, and we were also managing our short-term rentals. Right? And then in year number 2, it grew and it grew and it grew. And it grew to $364,000. And it netted $91,000. And I remember telling Katie, I actually think this could be $1 million business. Now, it had been 8 years since I became a business owner back in December of 2013. And I had never built $1 million business. But now, I had the million mistakes. And so the first thing I did is I just gave the fitness business to one of my trainers. His name was John. And he still runs that business to this day. We stopped buying real estate. In fact, we began selling some of our problem real estate. We hired property managers. And the cleaning business, it got 100% of our attention. Can anyone guess what happened when the cleaning business got 100% of our attention? In year number 3, from October 19, 2022 to October 19, 2023, the business grew to $1 million and it netted $219,000. And neither Katie or I performed a single clean, did a single sale, or a new hire. It took 9 years and 1 million mistakes but I had finally built $1 million business. But I'm pretty skeptical by nature. And so I was like, it's probably a fluke. I don't know if we could do it again, right? One out of nine, it's not a good percentage. But in year number 4, the business grew and it grew and it grew. And it grew to 1.2 million. And this year, it netted 227,000. And the unique part about this year, though, was that Kate and I didn't even live in the same state as our cleaning business. Now, anyone know this guy? Anyone know the smiling face? Yeah. Who would like to hear the story from Alex's perspective? Anybody?
I had a gym owner, friend of mine,
Can you hear it?
from many, many years ago. He became a gym owner. He was a licensee, awesome guy. And he started, he had a couple locations, and his wife started a cleaning business because they got into Airbnbs because he started making money in the gym. So he started investing. And he realized he actually liked real estate better than he liked the gym, which is awesome. Great. And so they started a cleaning company to clean houses for the Airbnbs. But then they realized they got in the Airbnb community, and they also got in just like that area. And they're like, you know what? We could probably just sell cleaning to other people. And so this was interesting. I had dinner with him, and he was saying, I was like, so what's your LTV to CAC? He's like, oh, dude, CAC's like $25. And I was like, what? He's like, oh, getting customers in cleaning, not a problem. And he was like, this is so different from the gym business because the gym business, getting the customers, you have to arm wrestle Susie for an hour to get her to say, yes, she's going to stop eating crap and start coming to the gym 3 times a week. But if you just say, hey, I'm going to clean your stuff and you don't have to do anything, not a very hard sale. And so he said, the real problem that I'm having right now is actually getting people to do the cleaning, right? He's actually getting people who speak English, who don't steal, who show up on time and do all that and like do a good job consistently. He said, the problem, that's actually the problem in the business. And so it was this great moment for me because I love finding out what is the real business behind the business. And so if you're in the cleaning business, you're not in the cleaning business, you're in the recruiting and training business. You have to learn how to.
It was September of 2022 that we had dinner with Alex and Layla. And it was at that dinner that Alex and Layla told us what business we were actually in. So you guys are not in the cleaning business. What business we were really in? We were in the business of recruiting and training teammates to deliver a 5-star experience. And so what is recruiting? Okay. Recruiting is the process of finding new teammates. Now, what does the ideal teammate look like? The ideal teammate wants to win, plus wants the business to win. Now, I refer to these ideal teammates as stars. Okay. So a star is an acronym, right? And so the S in star stands for serve. We began to recruit teammates who acted in the best interest of the clients. The T in star stands for teamwork. We began to recruit teammates who acted in the best interest of their fellow teammates. The A in star stands for accountable. We began to recruit teammates who took responsibility for their actions. And the R in star stands for reliable. We began to recruit teammates who followed through on their commitments. Okay. Now, here's the key. You don't create stars. You find them. How do you find them? More money plus more job equals more job applicants. More job applicants equals more phone interviews. More phone interviews equals more Zoom interviews. More Zoom interviews equals more onboardings. And more onboardings equals more stars. So to put it very simply, you find stars through volume. Now, once we could recruit, the next step is training. So what is training? So training is the process of teaching new stars how to deliver a 5-star experience. And so what do new stars need to learn in order to deliver a 5-star experience? 4 standards. Okay. So here are the 4 standards. Show up 5 minutes before scheduled appointments, greet the clients with a smile, remove the dirt with a checklist, and ensure clients are happy by completing a walkthrough. And so how do new stars learn how to perform these 4 standards? We have trainers who teach these new stars how to perform the 4 standards at every single clean. Okay. And so our trainers have a framework that they use to teach, and it's called do it for them, do it with them, do it on their own. And so I'll give you an example of how the trainers, they teach the new stars how to do a client walkthrough. The first thing they do is they do it for them. So the trainer performs a final walkthrough with the client while the new star observes. The second time, they do it with them. They allow the new star to perform a final walkthrough with the client while the trainer observes. And then finally, they do it on their own. The new star performs a final walkthrough with the client unaccompanied by the trainer. This framework is used to teach every behavior a new star needs to learn in order to deliver a 5-star experience. Now, how do we measure if a 5-star experience has been delivered? Very simply, 5-star reviews. Now, recruiting. Got it. Training. Got it. But there was still one missing piece. Retaining. And so what is retaining? Retaining is the process of keeping stars. And so before we talk about how we keep stars, who wants to know how to lose them? Who wants to know how to get them to go away? How to get them to repel all these stars? You want to know how to figure it out? Because a lot of you guys do this. So here you go. If you make a star's job painful, if you make a star's job threatening, if you make a star's job frustrating, if you make a star's job humiliating, if you make a star feel like they are in trouble, they will leave your ass. And they'll go find somebody who makes them feel better. Now let's talk about how you retain stars. You retain stars by making their job rewarding. You retain stars by making their job encouraging. You retain stars by making their job enjoyable. You retain stars by making their job progressing. If a star feels appreciated, they will remain working hard for you. And so in March of this year, I can say that because we have 2 more days left of this year, I asked Katie another question. I said, what do you think about starting another cleaning business? This time in a different state. The state we were actually living in. And Katie agreed. And so on March 8th, 2024, Mesa 5-Star Cleaning was born. And this location is in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a much different market than our first location in Bozeman, Montana. And so from March 8th, 2024 to December 7th, 2024, Mesa 5-Star Cleaning has spent $3,367 to find job applicants. And we have got 2,243 job applicants. We've done 402 phone interviews. We've done 139 Zoom interviews, and we've hired 66 cleaners. And we currently have 18. Volume, my friends, volume. And as of Friday, this location has 328 Google reviews. That's 8 reviews per week on average. That's more than 1 review every single day. Training. It works. And so, what we really care about, though, is the monies. So month number 1, March 2024, this location did $2,952. Month number 2 did $14,464. Month number 3 did $20,948. Month number 4 did 23,790. Month number 5, 29,000. Month number 6, 37,000. Month number 7, 42,000. Month number 8, 53,000. Month number 9, 56,000. And month number 10, TBD, also known as AKA to be determined. For all my acronym people out there. So, I have a true appreciation for hard work. The people who I respect the most, I don't know how they work that hard. I really don't. Super, very much appreciate hard work. Curious, how many of you guys work hard? Put your hands up. Every single one of you guys. Even if you don't have your videos on, put your hands up. If you work hard, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Come on. You guys aren't in this business if you guys don't work hard. How many of you guys have $1,000,000 businesses? If you put your hand down, you're working hard on the wrong things. This was one of the million mistakes that I made. And it's one of the easiest problems to solve. You want to know how to stop working hard on the wrong things and start working hard on the right things? You get a relationship with somebody who has achieved what you want. Get a relationship with somebody who has helped others achieve what you want. So I just showed you, Katie and I have done this a couple times. Do it again. We'll keep doing it. It's fun. I enjoy it. But you see people like Michelle Dale, who's inside our coaching program, within 2 weeks of starting her business, she's hired 3 part-time employees, has 15 recurring clients. She's starting off really well. I'm attracting the clientele I was hoping to attract. Thank you to everyone who's helped me out. Logan and Katie, I'm so grateful for you guys, all the work you guys do. Jocelyn, she came out. She got to see us in person, in the flesh. She knows we exist. She touched our face. She went like this. She's like, okay, you guys real. You guys real. Right? She got so much clarity on what it takes to build a $1,000,000 cleaning business. Now she has actionable steps to get there. Beyond grateful to be part of the community. Chris, sorry, the screenshot's not very good, but yeah. Chris wanted to introduce himself. He's like, they're in Missouri, operating since June of 2024, so less than 6 months, and they reached $20,000 per month already. They have 7 employees. I'd like to give a shout out to Katie and Logan, everyone else in the group. So it's cool to see other people being successful with the system. Tyler Stowers, he had a PR in October, 23,000 a year ago. Before that, he did 10,000, and the year before that, he wasn't even in business. So it's cool to see. Jamie Poole hit $29,000 in November. A year ago, she was doing 5,000. So progress, my friends, progress. Alyssa, they came out to Decade a Day as well. They touched Katie's face and were like, okay, real, you are a real human. And they were doing about 10,000-ish a month, 10, 11,000 a month. And yeah, now they're doing over 30,000. Right? It's cool to see. Marie Jed, stud. Yeah, she did almost $42,000 in October. And I think that was a $10,000 a month PR. I think before the year before that, I can't remember what she put in there, but I think it was like she was doing between around 20-ish thousand. So almost doubled her business, which was cool to see. Renee Krause. Yeah. Renee Krause she's been holding consistently at that 43, 44, 45 mark. But last year she was doing 26,000. And Renee Krause has been in business for over a decade. So it's cool to see. Cool to see progress from other people. And Lucas and Jessica. Yeah, wild story. But in October they hit 70,000. Last October they finished out at 35,000. So definitely a nice little double. Nice little double. And yeah, this month it's gonna be more for them, which is really cool to see. And then we have Kayla Irby. who posted that she had a weekly PR of 30,000. Weekly, guys, weekly, not monthly, weekly. So I'll do the math if you guys can't math, which is okay, because as you get bigger business, you have to learn bigger math problems. But 30,000 times 4.33 is about $120,000. So yes, Kayla's business does over $100,000 a month, and that is pretty cool to see as well, considering that I think last year she was doing 65 or 70,000. So a nice double as well, which is cool to see. And so the reason why you want relationship with successful people like I just showed you, right? People like Kate and I, is because successful people know what you need to work on. They can help see what you can't see. Now, you want to know how to get a relationship with successful people? This is actually really simple. It's very, very simple. This took me a long time to understand. This might be the best thing in the presentation. when I put this on paper, I was like, oh, this is really good. Okay. So like, if anything, screenshot this, take a picture of this, write this thing down. This will change your life. You want to know how to get a relationship with successful people? Help them reach their goals. How? Right? How? How do you help them reach their goals? That should be the next question you ask. Like, I want to help a successful person reach their goals. Yes. Now, how? Work for them. Help them build their business. Help them build their asset. That's the number one way. Work for them. The second way, work with them. Give them money so they can pay attention to you, so they can guide you. Let them mentor you. Let them have a little piece in your success. Give them the feel goods. Use their system. Follow it. That helps them reach their goals as well. So, you guys, most of you guys, are cleaning business owners. So what do you guys need to focus on? You guys ready? The vision sheet. Okay. And so this leads us into this week's vision sheet. So when it comes to focus, this vision sheet shows exactly what is important to grow a cleaning business. This vision sheet has taken a little over 2 years to create, and now is being used by hundreds of cleaning business owners. And so I'm going to walk you through Mesa 5-star cleaning, the week of 12/20 to 12/27, and show you exactly what we focus on that has got us to this point and will get us to that $1 million run rate in this location. And so as of 12/27, our projected monthly revenue was 56,000. Our Q1 monthly revenue goal is 83,000, and we're sitting at 51,000, which means we're about $30,000 short. Our weekly revenue goal is 19,000, and last week we did 7,000, which was one of the worst weeks we've had. But in all fairness, we had 2 days where we didn't work, and we were coming off the best week we ever had the week before, which was 17,000. So, you know, if you have the best week, then it's almost, I think it's an analogy to life. Like with the ups comes the down, with the downs come the up. And like, if you're in the downs, if you're in the valley of despair, you just gotta keep, you gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep fighting, because just on the other side of the valley of despair is optimism. And much of optimism is success. So, yeah, it was a bad week, and it's okay because we're still fighting again for this week. Our Q1 recurring client goals, 129, or excuse me, is 175. We're at 129, so we actually increased a couple last week, so that's positive. It's positive. 35 cleans. It was down from 68 cleans the week before, and 56, 59 before that. So it's all good. Goal is 85. And revenue per clean, our revenue per clean goal is 225. We did 211, so we're about $14 off that. Q1 number of cleaners goals, our goal is 15. We're currently at 14, so we're actually increasing on that, which is good to see. Weekly assigned cleaning hours. So we had 13, which makes sense because our cleaners only worked for 3 days last week. So that makes sense for it to be down. The goal is 28, and then total assigned cleaning hours goal is 426, currently at 174. So let's talk about what actually happened last week here from the number standpoint. So inside ZenMade, our last 30 days billed, we had billed $56,000 from December 27th to November 27th. Current monthly revenue is 51,000, and this week's revenue is 73.89. Initial clean revenue is 24.63, and reoccurring / occasional client revenue is 49.26. Okay. So those are that's the breakdown of our weekly revenue. And then revenue received the last 30 days, from December 27th through November 27th, we've actually collected $64,000. So again, this number is pretty cool to see. Then the last 3 days, we've collected over $60,000. Current monthly revenue, $56,000 as collected. This week's revenue, $12,134 was collected. So great to see. Outstanding, we have $2,800 in less than 7 days, and then greater than 7 days, we have 901. Discounts. We give away some discounts. Looks like we have some correction claims. We had 3 correction claims. We gave away $233 in monies. We had 10% discounts. So part of our process of getting Google reviews is giving the client 10% off their next clean as an incentive for them to become recurring clients. And so we give away 5 of those. Super exciting. It's probably the reason why we had a decent number of conversions last week. And then we had 3 $50 homepage vouchers. And then we had 2 Christmas vouchers. Okay. And then we had 1 cleaning for a reason. And so this is actually a great story. On Tuesday, so on Christmas Eve. No, it was on Monday. It was the day before Christmas Eve. The office was a little bit quiet, and our girls had taken the day off, or one of the office girls had taken the day off, and Katie was like, "I'm gonna jump back in the sales seat, and I'm gonna get some cleans on the schedule for this week." And so, Katie, why don't you pick up the story from here and share your conversation with Forrest Cook?
Yeah, so I got super excited to jump back in the sales seat. So I called the first lead that I saw, and it was Forrest. And I was caught off guard because Forrest to me was a male, and it ended up being a female. Sweetest lady ever. She just said that she ended up telling me her entire life story. So she lost her husband just very recently and could not wait to go meet him. She believes in eternal marriage, so she was ready to also go to the other side and spend more time with him there. She said she's about a day away from calling hospice on herself. She's very, very clean and tidy, but her kitchen is driving her nuts. She cannot get on her hands and knees and clean out her kitchen cabinets anymore. That's all she wanted, was her kitchen cabinets cleaned out. So she was very confused that I wasn't collecting a credit card from her. She was very confused when the girls showed up to clean the next day and she didn't have to pay. But it was truly the best thing ever. I think giving back to people who are fighting for their life and have bigger problems, if we can simply just clean for them, I think it makes a huge difference.
Katie told me that story on our marriage meeting that we have on Monday. So last Monday. And it honestly brought me to tears. And it reminded me of why, like the reason why we work so hard, the reason why we try to create the financial independence and try to create something really, really big is that when we have opportunities like this, like it wasn't a hard decision. Katie was just like, I'm not letting you pay for this. And it was just that like abundance mindset that I saw from Katie that just was like, it was amazing. And that desire to give to somebody and for them just to be like very confused. And just a reminder of why it's important to be successful. It's important so that you can give more. The more successful you are, the more resources you have, the easier it is. The less resistance you have to give. That's really what it comes down to. There's just less resistance. So awesome. All right, let's talk about marketing. So last week we spent $301 on Google local services. We spent $1,300 on Facebook. These are the 2 primary marketing channels that we use. So altogether we spent about $1,690. Weekly ad spend goal is 2,000, so we were a little shy. We got 74 Facebook leads, 1 for Messenger, 7 missed calls, 5 Google local services, 5 homepage leads, 6 incoming call leads. We had a total of 98 leads. Our cost per lead is about $20 per lead. So again, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Not bad. Last week, spots open. So we actually had 20 spots unfilled. So this really shows that when you don't have your office gals selling, or if you're not selling, like it makes a big difference. And so having 20 spots unfilled, yeah. And then this week we have 48 spots unfilled, and next week we will be able to see how many of those spots we were able to fill. But definitely we've noticed the difference with the office gals not being in the office, how much it impacts our schedules, our cleaner schedules being lighter. And so you can see here that our 3 office gals, one office gal is brand new. I didn't even put her on phones last week. I just had her training. And so we only had 146 phone calls between the 2 office gals. And between those 146 phone calls, we had 17 quotes scheduled, 12 showed. We performed 24 quotes, which means that the other 12 were created through sheer volume, sheer effort, sheer violence, just picking up the phone, calling people until they answer. And from those 24 people who we got to talk to and give quotes to, 14 of them booked, right? So definitely well under our goal of 34. But we had $4,400 in new quote call projected revenue on the books. And then we had 3 reoccurrings book, which was great to see, even though, again, our goal is 6, but on a short week, it's not bad. So cleaner acquisition, we only spent $60 on cleaners last week. We had 7 applicants, 8 phone interviews scheduled, 6 performed. We had 12 Zoom interviews last week. Again, another big shout out to Katie. Katie did the majority of these. Like, Katie was a stud, and she stepped up, and she was just doing everything. So one thing I appreciate Katie is that she's a DMF, and there's very, very few people in my life that I would consider a DMF. Very, very few people, right? If you guys don't know what DMF means, I can't say it on this because there's kids on here, but Katie will put it in the chat. So, yeah, and so we end up hiring out of those 8 interviews, we hired two more cleaners. Okay. Cleaner acquisition. Yeah, we have got a nice fat pipeline here. So Trina actually just graduated last week, and then we have Elizabeth, Louisa, Megan, Sadie, Jennifer, and Emmy. And I think that a couple of these people actually didn't make it, right, Katie? Like I think Emmy's one who didn't make it
Correct.
to onboarding. Yeah, so someone like Emmy, she did not make it to onboarding.
Louisa did not either.
And Louisa. So look at that. So this is why we have such a fat pipeline, because we expect people not to make it. And when they don't make it, I don't get butthurt. I just put them in red and I move on with my life. Emmy doesn't like me. They should have showed up. They said they would. Poor me. I'm a little bee. Yeah, that's the inner bee in all of us. People should just follow my rules, even though they don't know the rules, even though it's not in their best interest, but they should still follow them because I'm a business owner. I have rights. Okay. Jocelyn and had 15 hours. Alyssa actually worked Christmas Eve, so that's why she has got 24. And then the rest of our cleaners, nothing to write home about. Andre also worked Christmas Eve as well, so that's why he also has 18 hours as well. So again, pretty low week. And yeah, we had 13 cleaners, 1 in training, so 14 average. Our action man hour is $42 an hour, so a little bit on the lower side than we're used to seeing. Like to see that around 55. Correction cleans, we had 3 correction cleans. Yeah, looks like Nikki was the one responsible for a couple of these. Windows and blinds, missed several items, and who knows about Amy Smart. But looks like we did 2 correction cleans, and then we did 1 discount. We didn't do any one-on-ones last week, which I think this is actually, I don't know if this is true or not. I didn't do one-on-ones, but I thought, because I maybe did one on Friday, but I can't remember now. Total weekly cleans was 35, 28 new client cleans, 7 reoccurring. Looks like it was 2 correction cleans, 6 Google reviews. So we had 129 recurring clients, 60 occasional clients. We have 328 5-star reviews. Goals to get to 350. Recurring clients, Sally Shack. This is great. I actually signed her up a long time ago. So when I was doing sales, I remember signing up Sally.
April 9th, says right there.
Yeah, April 9th. So yeah, we've been serving her for a long time. So again, expectation, clients will come, clients will go. And that's why we're always focusing on getting new people, right? So we got 3 new clients, all monthlies. combined for 571, and then canceled last week. Looks like we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clients who canceled. And really, Beth Eris, we gave her clean away, I believe. This one was like, we actually fired Airbnbs. So we've been firing Airbnb clients in our market. We only have 2 Airbnbs clients, and honestly, one of them is like one of our friends who has an investment property, and the other one, yeah, the other girl just came from such a bad company before that managed all of her stuff that like even when we do bad, like we're still amazing to her. So we we can serve
I,
her.
I think
Her
the difference
expectations.
is that she just wants us to win as well. She's okay with us winning and her winning, whereas most Airbnb hosts are only concerned about them winning. So
Yeah.
that's the
And
biggest
this is the
difference.
benefit that we have coming from Airbnbs. Like we still have Airbnbs as much as I hate Airbnbs as a cleaning business. Like we ourselves still own Airbnbs, and yeah, we understand it. We understand it from the Airbnb side, from the host side, also from the cleaning side. And like the reality is that most Airbnb hosts like they just don't have the bandwidth to truly understand it from the cleaning side of it, and it's okay. That's why we just don't do many Airbnbs. Plus, they're just inconsistent, and we like consistency in our business. So, yeah. So, with that being said, we did charge Beverly for a last minute cancellation. So we charged her $75, which was great. Beverly, don't cancel last minute. So, okay, cool. So that is the visioning. That is the visioning for what is it? 1220 through 1227. So, Katie, tell me any thoughts that you got.
Yeah, I think I would just like to, for those of you that have never seen this vision sheet before, this is every single piece of data that we collect inside this business is read over time. So it's one thing to actually collect the data, and then it's another thing to actually compare it to previous data. You find trends, you find consistencies, you find nuances, you find weeks that are like off. Like, how did we know that we didn't have a great week last week? Well, it's because we've done this for 50 weeks, close to 40 weeks, something. I don't know, my math is off.
42.
42 weeks.
42.
But when you only track 1 week of data, like how do you know if it's normal or abnormal or consistent or right or wrong? You don't. So the first step is to just start tracking data. And then once you accumulate data, then you can start making decisions on what levers to pull to grow the outcome that you're looking for, which is ultimately usually always an increase in revenue. So in order to increase revenue, you need cleaners pushing vacuums around. If you have cleaners pushing vacuums around who have time available on their schedule, you need clients. If you have cleaners pushing vacuums around and have no time to fill new clients with, then you have cleaner issues. So it's simple. It's either a game of increasing clients or increasing cleaners on your team. And it just depends on where you put the gas. We never put brakes on. We just put gas. And which funnel are we putting gas on every single week can vary based on data from the previous week.
Yeah. It's actually really good. Very, very simple. Like if you guys are in the cleaning business, like you have 2 funnels. You have a cleaner and you have a client funnel. And it's just which one are you like hammering down versus one that you're just like you're throttling. Right. And that's the game. It's like the only way this business produces revenue is through cleaners. Like you yourself could be a great cleaner. You could have 2 other helpers that are really good. And my 15 shitty cleaners will still out revenue produce you all day long, and I'll get more 5-star reviews, and I'll have a better reputation, and people will love my business more than you because my business is better than yours because I can do more things than you can do. I have more availability. I will talk to my clients more. I have more revenue, I have more profit, which means that like I will just beat you every single time. And so you can get mad at that, or you can just like do the same thing I'm doing because I'm sharing with you how to do it. And the irony is that a lot of you guys your egos are too big. It's like, well, I'm a cleaner. I don't need to know business. I'll just clean. It's fine. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the person who wants to know how to grow a business, who wants to know how to make $200,000 a year in take home without cleaning, without even selling, without even hiring. And that's what the system shows you guys how to do. And if you want that, cool. It takes a lot of work. Like I said earlier, it takes being told no a lot of times, being disappointed a lot of times. It takes making a lot of mistakes. It's like, and that takes you accepting your shortcomings, accepting your ignorance, accepting that you do not know. I told you guys my story earlier. The biggest thing that held me back was because like I had an ego. I knew I was going to become a millionaire. I was stupid. And it wasn't until I got humbled, I got my shit pushed in. I got it kicked in. I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I finally started looking for answers for somebody. Like somebody had to know. And I got really lucky. I found somebody who really knew. And the reality is that a lot of people in here, like you guys have an opportunity as well. And some of you guys are in it. Like some of you guys are experiencing it. Some of you guys, your guys' businesses have grown because like, you guys have done this. For all you guys who are not part of the coaching program, or not part of the community, like this could be your story. This could be your Alex Hormozi story. Could be. All residential. 100% residential. So if you guys are not part of the Cleaning Business Coaching Program, James, we drop the link and then you guys can apply. You guys can apply and see if it makes sense for you. There's no hard sells. In fact, I turn more people down than I accept. Because if you're not a good fit, then like I'm not gonna take your money. Most people, honestly, like they're not in a position where I can actually help them because you're not big enough. You don't have enough. Like you don't have enough problems. Like go create some problems so you actually can get some help. Like you're playing it too safe. You're one foot in and 1 foot out, which means like you're 1 foot away from just like putting your vacuum in your closet and go getting a job. Like you're not committed enough. Go get something to lose so you have something to be committed by. You're playing not to lose. I only work with people who play to win. I don't play not to lose. I play to freaking win. Which might seem risky, but like risking what? A mediocre life? Working at Panera? I don't know. Like you won't regret going all in. You won't regret building a big old business and acquiring the skills along the way to do it. You will not regret that. So if you want to be part of this, James just dropped the link. I think so, Lucas. I think it is a break. That was a straight from Dr. Kashi. That was a straight from Dr. Kashi. Just like he's like the problem with these clean business owners is like they're one step away from going to work at Panera. I was like, that's really good. So good. I'm stealing that. So like go get something to commit. Like go commit to something. So all right, guys. Super appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for showing up today. I really do. I really appreciate your time and attention. And for all you guys who are inside the coaching program, Justin, Kristen, Lucas, Ada E, Morgan, Bethany, Lori, Jose, Kayla Irby, who else is on here? Lindsay, Anna Harris, Hannibal. Super appreciate you guys so much. Really do. Appreciate the opportunity to serve you guys. And if you're not currently inside the coach program and you're interested, go apply. And honestly, in the very first phone call, there is no sale. I don't take your money. Like it takes 2 calls to get your money. Sorry about it. I don't take money lightly, right? Because if I do take your money, like I expect you to be all in. Just making sure we're on the same page. Making sure we're on the same page. So super appreciate you guys. For all you guys who are in advisor, the advisor coaching program call is right now. Hooray! New coaching time. So got to go coach the homies. For everybody else, super appreciate you guys. Happy Monday. Hopefully you guys got some value from this. Hopefully you guys now believe you really can build $1 million cleaning business that profits $200,000 a year, and you don't have to be the one who does the cleaning. You don't have to be the one who does the selling. You don't have to be the one who does the hiring. It's actually possible. And guess what? If you can do it once, maybe you can do it again. All right, guys. Happy Monday. For all you guys in advisor, see you guys on the next call. All right, guys. Bye.